Good morning, folks. This is Naeem Alsam, Chief Markets Analyst at AvaTrade, and I'm back with an update on coronavirus and its influence on the global economy, and especially on the European and US economies as well. So let's have a look at it. Day before yesterday, we had this announcement from Dublin over in Ireland that the country will be going in another national lockdown. That lockdown can last for another 6 weeks. So of course, that national lockdown means all bars, restaurants and non-essential shops will be closed. Of course, the schools are still open. I don't know why, because it's like closing everything else but leaving the door open for one particular area where the virus can come back, and then those numbers can still rise. Nonetheless, that is not the concern. The concern is that Ireland, being the first EU country coming up with this sweeping change, what does this mean for the rest of the bigger economies within the Eurozone? And I'm speaking of Germany, Italy, Spain, or France, because these countries, if they also adopt a similar strategy where they imply another national lockdown, that could really have major impact on the Eurozone's economy. And of course, that means it can really derail all the efforts done by the ECB so far in terms of their monetary policy, not to mention the fiscal policy support that the various different governments have really put in place in order to soften the blow from this coronavirus impact that we are already facing today. But there is another qualm among investors, and that is the numbers are rising over in the United States. Could there be a possibility of another national lockdown while Donald Trump continues to keep playing or downplaying the prospects of another lockdown or even regional lockdowns? But investors are mindful of that, and because of that, we're seeing the markets losing their momentum. We don't see the same sort of upward momentum. Doesn't matter whether we are talking about the European markets or the US markets. We don't see it. The only place where we do see the upward momentum, that is over in Asia, where coronavirus situation is under a lot more control. Investors are less pessimistic about that. Investors are more, in fact, optimistic about the growth. They do believe in the economic numbers because coronavirus situation is very much under control over there. But over in Europe and in the United States, it is a very different whole ball game, because over here the concern is how long are we going to continue to see this surge in coronavirus? What does this really mean for the economy? Because so far, one thing is pretty clear, that these surge in these coronavirus cases is massively influencing the economic sentiment, the business sentiment, the consumer sentiment. And the overall message is that we wanted to go beyond that. We wanted to go past this so that economies can really recover. But that is something to be seen. And for now, the major concern remains the national lockdowns. That's all for today. See you guys next time.